Well, good day and welcome to you. It is January the 5th, 2022. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you happen to be. My name is Gary Willing. And as always, I want to welcome everyone to this channel. I'm really happy you're here, whether you've heard this information before or you're totally new. Glad you're listening. Now, if you are new to this information, I want to point out to you, but also to encourage you to check out the links that I provided in the description portion of these videos so you can get as much information that you need and learn about this information in a better way than I think just hearing my videos, and then you can see if there's any truth to this information for yourself or not. And then, and only then, can you truly make an educated decision on how to proceed. So, for instance, you do your own investigation, you see there's no truth to this, well, of course, you don't have to do anything about it. Just get on with your life, man. That's great. If you see that there might be a little bit of truth to this information after, investigating this for yourself, well, then you can decide for yourself whether you want to do anything with it or not. You can't really do that if you don't know anything about it. So that's why I always encourage you to check out the links. And if you want to know which link I would think to go to first, I would definitely check out the Share International site. So link is in the top of the description, so it's easy to find. These images actually were taken from Share International. So they're images of one of the many miracle, strange phenomena, whatever you want to call it, that have been happening for decades, happening all over the world, to people of all walks of life, all religious backgrounds and everything. But what these are, according to the masters, light blessings. And they were photographed by people who maybe knew this information, maybe didn't. And when the photograph was taken, they didn't see anything. They just saw whatever they were taking a picture of, whether it was a person or event or a place or whatever. And when the photographs were developed, these light swooshes were kind of in the middle of some of these photographs. Now, let me explain, too, about what I just said, because you might not realize that some years ago, before the iPhone, before smartphones in general, we had to actually use a real, what's called a camera. Okay, I'm just kidding. And we actually had to put film in it and take a photograph, right? And then we had to take said film to a developer in order to be developed so we could actually see what we took. Now, what happened was the people, after the film had been developed, when they started looking back through their photographs, they saw these swooshes. Now, this won't appear by taking a photograph with your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever. It has to be on real film. But I will say this, if you're old enough where you've had photographs of yourself or your family or whatever events that you maybe did, if you go back and look at some of those photographs, you might see this, because this is actually something that happened to me personally. I couldn't find the photographs. I think some of them are actually at my mom's house in South Carolina, but I did find photographs that were taken decades ago that had these swooshes in it. Now, you might think that they are overexposed film, and perhaps maybe that is what it is. I don't think that's what the case is, but let's just say that you're thinking that, right? Well, why is that white swoosh in the middle of the photograph and on the edges? I don't know much about photography, but what I found from my own personal experiences of overexposed film, and from what photographers have told me who know what they're talking about, overexposures happen at the end or the beginning of the roll of film. Sometimes these were actually taken in the middle of the roll of film, but also in the middle of the actual photograph that was taken is this image, right? This white image. If it was overexposed, it would be on the edges, the top, the bottom, the sides, whatever it happens to be. That's where you would see it more if it was an overexposure. So that's why I don't think these are overexposures. But over the years, people sent in photographs to Share International, and Benjamin Creme's master looked at it and said, like this one right here, said, oh yes, that was a light blessing from this master or that master. Typically from the master Jesus, or Maitreya, or the master from Tokyo, or some of the other masters, I guess. But those were the three that did it the most, that were recognized by Share International. Maybe there were some other masters who took time out of their busy schedule to actually send a light blessing to somebody. It was photographed and they didn't even recognize it as anything and threw the photograph away thinking it was just a, overexposed photograph. So you might have had that same experience. But it's interesting because I actually remember seeing photographs of myself when I was a kid or a young man or whatever, and I don't remember that swoosh in there. And then after, and I remember what the image looked like on the film, right? It didn't register that there was a swoosh on there. Sometimes it was really tiny, but when I went back and just happened to find a whole stack of photographs and I start looking through it, I remember that photograph, and sure as a world, there's this swoosh right through the middle of it. And I didn't even think about anything of it. So it might be the case for you. That's why I'm showing these to you. Now, I want to leave us with this, because this miracle, just like every other miracles, whether they're crop circles, UFOs, weeping icons, healing waters, crosses of light, the Star of David that looks like a cross of light in the window, people that cut open fruit and it says Allah or God or whatever. These miracles have been happening for decades, for one thing, just like these images of these light blessings. And they also are happening to people all over the world, with all walks of life, who speak different languages, believe in different ways of believing God to be, or whatever, right? Different types of religions, that kind of stuff. And people of no particular religious faith are having these miracles. Blessings, healings, being left with a greater sense of hope from perhaps meeting an angel or being healed from a terminal illness, of course, or something like this. Because they're happening all over the world to all different types of people, all different brands of religious beliefs and so forth, I'm standing here in front of you saying, I think this is not only evidence of hope, because they're leaving people with a greater sense of hope, greater expectancy of the future. They are also evidence of oneness, because they're happening to everyone, without exception. So those people, and you might find yourself in this category of people who think that your belief is the only true belief. Well, I think these miracles are telling you that there might be something more to life than just what you think to be true. Maybe there's a central truth to not only all religions, but everyone has this interconnection to this divinity, which is called oneness, unity. That's what I think these things are evidence of, these miracles, these strange phenomena. And Maitreya, the world teacher, who's already speaking on TV, not claiming to be Maitreya, but just claiming to be an ordinary person, as time goes on, we'll start to be teaching humanity the truth of the matter, that we are one, that we are one family, but we can't keep living the way that we have been living, where half the world is doing okay or really, really well, and the other half, or even more than half probably, are living in poverty, abject poverty, or literally starving to death. We can't keep doing this, because that goes in complete contrary to the truth of the matter, that we are one. So that's why he's here. That's why these masters are coming back. That's why I think these miracles, such as these light blessings, are evidence of hope. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Remember to take action and help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos.